Welcome to Recovering Boldly with Quest Center. My name is Courtney. I'm your host, and this is a space where we celebrate real stories of resilience, healing, and transformation. Each episode, we talk with inspiring guests who share their journeys navigating mental health challenges, addiction, chronic pain, and more, offering honest insight and celebrating the courage it takes to reclaim hope and live boldly as your authentic self. A bit of background on Quest Center. We're a nonprofit health center based in Portland, Oregon, with a mission to provide integrative healthcare services, community, and education to all people seeking a wellness-focused approach to living and dying. Our programs in HIV services, substance use recovery, chronic pain management, mental health, acupuncture, and holistic medical care all recognize that each person has a unique journey to healing. In addition to offerings like individual and group therapy, our programs take an integrative approach to wellness, including elements such as peer support, wellness movement, nutrition, and at the heart of it all, of course, is community. If you'd like to learn more about our services, visit our website at www.quest-center.org. A little announcement. We are proud to be among so many other amazing nonprofits as part of this year's Give Guide campaign through the Willamette Week. Our 2025 goal is to raise $10,000 that will go towards our ability to continue providing affirming and compassionate behavioral health care in the Portland area. As part of our Give Guide campaign, I've had the pleasure of interviewing a few of our participants, and I'm very excited to introduce you all to Lawrence today, who has an important story about self-discovery and finding his community. Truly one of the most kind-hearted individuals I've ever met. And so without further ado, here is Lawrence.
My name is Lawrence Fugel. I am he, him.
Awesome. And how long have you been coming to Quest Center?
I started at Quest shortly after I moved to Portland 7 years ago.
Okay, nice. Where did you move to Portland from?
Los Angeles.
Oh, fun.
Yes, I lived in Los Angeles 25 years.
Uh-huh.
And then got priced out.
Mm-hmm.
I had a crisis happen in my life, and I had to go on disability, and for anxiety and depression.
Mm-hmm.
And being on disability, I got priced out of being able to afford Los Angeles anymore.
Yeah.
And so my daughter here in Portland said, come to Portland, it's cheaper and you can be on disability anywhere. So I did. I moved here, and the first 35 years of my life was Utah.
Oh, okay.
I was raised Mormon in Utah.
Oh, yeah.
Got married, had kids, came out of the closet, divorced, moved to LA.
Wow. Yeah, in a nutshell, there you go. So yeah, tell me a little bit.
A lot more to all of that.
I'm sure. Yeah, tell me.
That was a 35,000 foot elevation.
So tell me, about your experience growing up Mormon, and I guess how did that affect you and your view on yourself?
Well,
your identity.
Very straight environment, and I knew from a very early age that I was different.
Mm-hmm.
And but I struggled through it, and I tried to date girls in high school, and did the whole outward appearance thing. And then being Mormon, there was a lot of pressure to not be outside of the straight male box, and so there was a lot of pressure on me that way. Did the Mormon mission thing, got married to my wife.
How old were you when you got married?
24 years old.
Yeah.
And so just kept trying to conform and to be what everybody wanted me to be, but knowing, and I'd had some experiences in my teenage years with boys, and so I knew that I wasn't going to be able to live forever. But they kept saying, get married, have kids, it'll change you, go to church, read the scriptures and all of that. Nothing changed.
So was it something that you had talked with your peers about, like having those feelings or
Oh, no.
experiences? No.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, the boys that I'd had, some things to do with were, everything is on the down low, so it's
Yeah. Were they also in the Mormon community?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody in my small town was.
Yeah.
So we, just had to duck and hide and, not, and then, it wasn't any long-term thing. Like there's no way I could have ever had a boyfriend or anything like that. So.
Yeah. And then, yeah, tell me about your coming out experience.
So that was, I actually didn't come out I didn't divorce as a result of coming out.
Okay.
I divorced because we had a really terrible marriage. And then at the same time knew that in the part where I was divorcing, I knew that that was then going to be my segue into coming out of the closet. But I hadn't addressed that yet. So got divorced, moved to LA to take a job, and then felt the freedom and the support in LA to come out of the closet. And boy, did I come out of the closet. I came out of the closet.
So free. It's fun, I'm sure.
But still being a father and still wanting to be an example to my kids, but in an example that is of a gay father that still, I didn't like immediately. Some people would come out of the closet. I knew many people in LA that came out of the closet and just like went completely crazy. Drugs and,
right.
parties and partying and sex. And I just didn't do that because I didn't want my kids to experience their dad doing that. I wanted them to feel what it was like to have a gay dad, to be a positive experience for them to have a gay dad that, was still interested in, still had the same values.
Right.
That, and that's a very judgmental word. I don't like that, but still have the same sort of temperament that I had when I wasn't being gay.
Yeah, still be the dad that they knew, just
exactly
in a
that I didn't
different
do this
way.
great big flip into another world. And so, and I did that. And my first long-term relationship was with a man that had also been married and had 2 children. And so our kids got to know each other and had interaction, formed some friendships that way. So
how was it coming out to your kids? How did they respond at first?
Well, this was, again, small town, Mormon, Utah. And it was my ex-wife, to her credit, did some background work before we had to sit down with the kids to tell them. And she sort of prepped them in certain ways. So then when I came to Utah, and we sat down in her living room and I came out, told the kids, they weren't shocked, but, I think they were sort of like, wow, this is my dad, because there's examples all around them that they'd seen of men who had come out of the closet and they immediately became, disliked because of all of the society's, way of thinking about that, especially at the time. This is in the 90s. And so they struggled with it at first, but then slowly worked into it better and better.
Yeah.
And I think I really do credit the fact that I didn't do this big, huge flip-flop out of being what I was and into some new thing. That I really was trying to hold the line on doing things the same way I would have done,
right,
previously. So
yeah,
that really helped my feet to give them a sense of stability.
Right. Were you still practicing your Mormonism? No. Yeah.
I had gone up the ranks in Mormon. There's a whole hierarchy of men in priesthood callings, priesthood work in the Mormon church. And I'd gone high enough that a person like me who would come out of the closet would be immediately excommunicated from the church.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt the need to be honest about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came out to the leadership in LA, and they immediately excommunicated. So that was the end of and that caused all sorts of issues with my family, who were all very strongly Mormon.
Mm-hmm. And it's very hard to feel like you're losing your community.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Friends that I never would have thought badly of me,
Right.
immediately did. I lost friendships. I lost communication with relatives. It shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
It is shocking.
Yeah, it is shocking, and I'm sure it was really difficult, but it's also really powerful and commendable that you're able to stand strongly in who you are.
Well, thank you for saying that. I didn't feel strong at the time.
Yeah.
I just knew that I wanted to get on the other side of having to hide. I wanted to be honest. And so that was what I was feeling at the time. The strength, I think, came later over time with working at it. But yeah.
Yeah. So you really kind of got to build a new community.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Learn the whole culture.
Yeah.
Learning the culture in, Los Angeles, the gay culture, but learning the gay culture in Los Angeles.
Right. A hub, yeah.
That was, that's over the top. So that was all excitement at the time.
Yeah. And so, yeah, if you're comfortable sharing, when did you find out about your status, your
HIV
status?
So I'd gone through the beginnings of my long-term relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And after 6 years, we split, and we were apart for a year, and I'd started dating. Excuse me. Dating in that time, and came across a person that I met. This is back in the AOL days, dating myself. Back in the AOL days on the chat room, and got together. Come to find out later, by putting all the pieces together, he was knowingly trying to infect.
Really?
He was HIV. He was AIDS.
Oh, wow.
According to my doctor, AIDS positive, and was not on any medication.
Wow.
And my doctor, feeling that he was trying to infect people on his way out the door. And I'd heard about that before, but I didn't really ever think that would be anything that I'd have to deal with.
Right.
Because I'd always been safe and protected. But a circumstance came up one time after we got together 3 or 4 times, that he caught me off guard and penetrated me without protection. And he knew what he was doing. And at the moment, I knew something was very wrong, and went home and tried to, cleanse myself. It didn't work. So that was 2004. So that was 10 years after I came out of the closet.
It's very, very violating. Yeah.
Very violent. I was just shocked when my doctor said, they can tell through my blood work, they can tell that he had not been on any medications. Just, I would have developed what do you call it? My body would have a resistance, and my body was not resistant to anything because he hadn't been on it. So that just shocked me. Really shook me.
Feels very sinister.
Really, that somebody would do that. Really do that. He did. And after that, when he knew what he had done, dropped off all communication, went silent on AOL, at least in the way that he had been going. But yeah.
So you never got to confront him about it?
No. And I thought about, like going to the police or something like that. And my doctor's like, yeah, go to LA County Sheriff's and tell him that as a gay man, you're having gay sex with another man and you got HIV positive, and see how that, how that affects them. They'd be like, got what you deserve, buddy. Shouldn't they would have?
Yeah.
But his thought was, you're not going to get anybody's sympathy.
Just so, what are you supposed to do with that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How,
So I had to just suck it up and
how did
start
you
dealing with it.
get through that?
Mentally?
Yeah.
Well, mentally, I wasn't getting through it at all.
Yeah.
I was angry. And I tried to find, I was just really mentally not in a good spot. I tried to find his apartment, because we had gone to his apartment, but I couldn't find it. It was far enough away from my house to try and find it again. Otherwise, I would have had it, I would have had some ability to confront that, but I couldn't do that. So I was completely left, and I looked online, but he had just completely disappeared.
Wow. Yeah.
So I was just left to deal with it. Obviously, got into some therapy at the time to try and make any sense of it whatsoever. Never could. That's
so frustrating.
The worst part of humanity that would do that.
Absolutely.
To another person.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
were you engaged in any kind of services in LA before finding Quest?
Yes. So I, once I became positive, then a whole new world actually opens up that I didn't know existed. Being HIV positive, there are services. And so I got involved in a clinic there that was sort of like Quest, but not, because they didn't have everything under one roof. There were services that they could refer. They had medical services that they could provide.
Yeah.
But everything else, they would refer you to somebody else or another agency or all of that. And so I had, to do a lot of work, coordinate with myself to all of these different types of services that I needed. And so that was my experience in LA. And, it just sort of wears you down, because it's like you get started with one, and then they, for some reason, lost their funding or whatever. Then you need to find somebody else. And so, you're constantly having to try.
Shuffle.
And so so then when I got to Portland, and I got to my primary care physician right away through partnership project, who was associated with OHSU.
Yeah.
And they said, go to OHSU internal medicine. So I did, and my doctor there suggested because I needed therapy, being on disability, anxiety, and depression, and she suggested Quest.
Amazing.
So that's how I found Quest. This is, years ago, again, back in the old building. Yeah, so finding Quest and then coming in and learning. Started in therapy with a therapist then, her name was Cindy, and her helping me sort of navigate into other aspects of what Quest did.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around and I'm going, this is all under one roof.
It's pretty amazing.
I don't have to go anywhere else. Yeah. This is all here.
Yeah.
I could do therapy. I had to go somewhere else in LA to get men's group, sort of a community, that sort of thing. And, then they have the whole nutrition thing. So it was just amazing for me to just have it all right here.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about men's group and how that's been and what it's like?
Yeah. So I held off joining men's group initially. I'd been here about a year, and then just before the pandemic hit in late 2019, I finally decided, okay, I'm going to do it. So I decided to do it. She made contact with Alex for me, and I decided, okay, this Friday I'm going to do it. Well, they had something going that they had a limited number that they could do. So I couldn't join them that week. But the following week, I was going to join them. The pandemic shut everything.
Oh my God.
Right out that.
No way.
Right at that. So the first time I was able to join the men's group, we had to do it on Zoom.
Wow. I'm sure it's been so different coming back in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once we were able to get back in person, it was a whole different experience. Zoom was good.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it got me able to speak to other people and hear other people's experiences and have that community.
Right.
And I use quotes for, community, because I don't really feel a real strong sense of community on Zoom. But there was still some, more than I had.
Yeah.
So it was very refreshing.
Yeah.
To find the men's group and to participate, especially like you said, after we got able to be back in person. And there's different things that they do that have really helped me out.
Really?
So they do the nutrition night. Just a couple of weeks ago, we did the picnic pizza in the park.
Oh yeah.
And croquet. It's a lot of fun. So, all of the different things that they bring, and they're very creative.
Yeah.
Alex and Jake, I work with as my peer, and they are just really creative. It's what they are able to do.
They really are. Yeah.
They are. So I really appreciated that, because I felt a lot of isolation moving to Portland from LA and leaving associations and all of that behind. And so I felt really isolated.
Yeah.
I didn't have a sense of community. And so to be able to have that, build that quickly through the men's group, and then others, they're just in some of the activities CAP has done, but the men's group here at Quest has been just a lifesaver for building community.
Awesome. Yeah. It's a lot moving to a new place that already can feel so isolating, but then you put the pandemic on top of it. That's just a whole other level.
That was just awful.
Yeah.
That was so awful on so many levels. But
were you working through that time as well, like during the pandemic, or no?
No, I was on. Okay. I've been on disability since 2012.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's the reason again that I got to Portland, is because I got priced out of LA and I couldn't afford LA anymore.
And I feel like as adults too, that's so much sometimes where you meet people is where you're working. So
yeah,
I'm sure that
being on it too. Yeah, being on disability, again, the isolation, especially because of the pandemic, and then being able to start building that community, that was huge.
Yeah,
for me.
Are there any specific tools or techniques or things that you've learned here at Quest that have been particularly helpful for you?
Yeah. So being in therapy, and I was patient, being in therapy and showing up some days I just didn't want, not because of my therapist. Teresa's amazing. Cindy was great. And then now Teresa. And it's not that I didn't want to be with them or be at Quest or whatever. Some days I just felt lazy. Because it's a ride to get here. Before I lived just down, like miles, short miles from the center on Burnside.
Yeah.
So then having to transition here and just added a little bit more of a transportation burden.
Yeah.
That I didn't have before. So sticking with it and having time with Teresa to help me and be patient. And we talked together about that, that patience and doing things and then building within me confidence. And so the strategies were, how to do that with confidence, be myself. With confidence, I gained more confidence. Again, I started taking care of myself better. And my daughter noticed this. taking care of myself better, eating better. I started walking again. I have issues with my hips, and so mobility is an issue for me as well, huge issue. And so pushing myself with the encouragement of Teresa and with my daughter to start walking again and build, again, all of these things build confidence as you go through. And having the men's group to help me with confidence as well, to start seeing how interaction with them became much more, not on their part, but much more positive on my part, where I felt more engaged. I felt present before, but then making that transition and really feeling engaged. And so the takeaways from those strategies, that patience, and then experiencing that building on itself, and it's been noticeable for others, and it's been very affirming. Cool. It's been very affirming to have people notice that I definitely have made some changes in my life.
That's very cool. Yeah.
It feels amazing, and that I can truly attribute to what I've gained from the services here at Quest. Definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't have made those pushes.
Oh, I was
setting those goals.
Yeah.
Our Quest has really been affirming for me.
Yeah.
To meet those challenges.
So in men's group, they have a nutrition aspect sometimes as well. Is that right?
Yeah. So this Friday, every first Friday, they do what they call nutrition night. It's not night. It's the regular time, 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 4:30. But it's we have a nutrition situation, and that is huge because again, anytime you're in a community, a group, but then you add, food.
Next level.
I know.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that just pushes it.
It does.
To the next level.
Because who doesn't love food, right?
Who does not love food? And, for somebody on a limited income like me, that's huge. To have a good
meal,
quality, free meal.
Yeah.
And there's typically enough for leftovers. To-go boxes that you can take, and that's just, that's huge.
Yeah, Heidi, our nutrition coordinator, she's so creative too.
It is.
Puts together things I never would have thought of, and then I'll go home and be like, I'm gonna make that.
She's really creative.
She is, yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool too, how she'll just use donations that we get and make something kind of on the fly. That's how you know she's
that takes some creativity that
totally
I do not have.
Yeah, I haven't always been much of a cook myself, but definitely I felt more inspired being here.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Good quality.
Yeah. And how about I know you said you work with Jake as your peer. What is can you kind of describe maybe to someone who wouldn't know what a peer is, what that kind of looks like? Or
right. So that was all new to me too.
Yeah.
In my experience in LA, I went to a men's group, but we didn't have peers. We had a group leader, and then everybody else was, just participants in a group.
Yeah.
But as I understand it, the peer is someone that you lock arms with, that you can meet with occasionally or as needed, that you sort of refer to, that if you have some sort of thing in your life that you could need help with. For example, Alex, I had a problem with my recliner chair. I need a recliner chair for my mobility issues, and it broke on me. And Alex actually came to my apartment and helped me turn it over, and went to the hardware store and bought a screw to help fix it, and so stuff like that. I mean, he also offered to help with cleaning my blades on my ceiling fan so I could turn in the direction. All of that. So, and Jake, just absolutely, we would meet up for coffee back when he was literally physically important, but now by Zoom call to check in and have some time. And he's just a huge asset in my life.
Mhm.
Huge asset.
Yeah. I miss having Jake around
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I miss those trophies.
Have you had any really proud moments that you've experienced here? I mean, it sounds like, I guess maybe like walking more is a
Exactly.
big one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that would be the proud moment, is the progress by coming, by showing up,
Mm-hmm.
by working with Teresa, by being a part of the men's group and getting the confidence that I was able to build. It took time.
Totally.
I'm not fast at anything. I'm not fast at it. So, being with Quest for 7 years, and then, forget about what was it, 2 years or so that you sort of kind of have to X off with not being in personal community, face-to-face community. But for say the last 3 or 4 years, whatever it is, to be able to have that community and help build me confidence. And remembering, before my crisis, I was, rocking and rolling in life, but the crisis hit and everything went completely upside down. And so that was just a couple of years before I left LA, but then getting to Quest and having all of the services here, feeling very welcome, and having, again, the peer support, not just a group,
Right.
but the peer support aspect of that, where you literally, even outside of the group itself, you may have a coffee with, and in the past, with some people that are not here anymore, but I did have, like go out for lunch or something like that with some of the members of the group. But yeah, to have that peer support was just huge. And then again, I'd never experienced that.
Yeah.
Didn't know what peer meant.
Right. Yeah, it was new to me before working in this field, but
yeah,
so cool.
It is very cool. And
yeah,
experiencing it, I mean, saying I'm a peer support specialist like Alex or Jake, it's like, okay, but what does that do?
Right.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
But then to experience it and see how they interact with that and make that work was huge.
Totally. I'm curious, have you ever done acupuncture? Yeah.
So very funny that you say. So downstairs, before I went to Teresa, Alex, because he's sort of kept nudging me because of my mobility issues.
Yeah.
Has kept nudging me towards giving me
yeah.
I tried it years ago in LA and I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
I was not patient with it either. So, and then Teresa, just now, I said, and she explained to me a little bit more deeper about the science behind acupuncture. And so I finally said, jokingly, but after my run-in with Alex downstairs and then now with Teresa,
right.
Okay, uncle,
fine.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear after you try it what you think.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But again, from Alex and from Teresa, it's not something that you're going to feel immediate results.
Yeah.
You sort of kind of have to be
consistent
patient with it.
Yeah.
That P word.
Oh, I know, right? Darn it.
I know, right?
But
Why can't we all just get instant gratification?
Right? But so worth it.
Yeah.
I will say there was one time.
Do you do it?
Not often.
If I may ask.
Yeah, not often, but I have done it a couple of times. I've more so done it if I'm having like a specific problem, like I'm having a headache or, my back is bothering me. But I had never done it before coming to Quest, and there was one time I got acupuncture here, and I had really been struggling to write paper, like work on something, and got acupuncture, sat back down, and I like busted out the whole thing in like an hour.
Really?
Yes. It was like.
So you saw immediate result.
I did, yeah. I don't know. I feel like it just like opened my brain and
that's really cool.
Was like letting it flow. So
well, the theme of today has definitely been acupuncture.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And I live with daily.
Okay.
With mobility issues and pain.
Yeah.
That's when
Yeah.
getting back walking, I have to use walking sticks, and I can't walk out on the sidewalks because there's too many, cracks and whatever. So fairly near me, within a mile, is a high school
Okay.
that I can go and use the track.
Oh, nice.
So I go to the track and use my walking sticks, and I'm up to 3.5 miles.
Wow.
And I'm able to do that every 2 to 3 days.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do feel like it's true, like movement can really help the pain too.
Huge.
Yeah.
So with acupuncture, maybe being able to help me, because I get sore after I walk. I get sore. And so maybe if acupuncture can help me also be less sore so that I can walk further.
Right.
More and further.
Yeah.
Then that would be a huge plus.
Yeah, totally. Definitely worth a try. You're like, I get it. I promise no one.
That is so funny.
No one told me to say that.
You're the third person today to talk to me about acupuncture.
That is really hilarious. Well, I'm curious to ask you too. I mean, a little bit before we were recording, you had told me that your kids hadn't known about your status until recently. And so I'm curious, what that has been like for you, kind of letting more people close to you in on this part of your life.
So the reason I didn't tell the kids earlier is I was going to right away. And my doctor said he was very good. He was a very good doctor on all issues HIV. And he said, think about that. Because my kids were young then.
Okay.
He's like, think about that. Why don't you, if you're healthy, you don't have any HIV related issues, why don't you let them grow a little bit? Because they were still living in Utah, small town, again, actively in the Mormon church. And if I told them, I adopted a policy in our divorce where I would say something to them and tell them not to tell their mother, that I would ask them to keep secrets from their mother. I just didn't think that was fair.
Yeah.
And so I didn't tell them. The doctor said, let them grow. Let them have a childhood. Because if you tell them, I knew this, if you tell them, your ex-wife, their mother's going to know. And she's still close. She was still close, very close, with my family, my siblings, that sympathized with her on the divorce, especially after I came out of the closet. And so if the kids had known, she would have known, and then she would have spread that to my family.
Right.
And I just didn't want to deal with all that.
I'm sure it would have felt like all over again, kind of going
worse
through that. Yeah.
Because then, I mean, gay is one thing, but HIV, this is back in the 90s, remember? And this was still, people were still dying.
Yeah, totally.
So, and so I said, okay. So I didn't, and I just forgot.
Yeah.
Seriously, I just didn't think about it. I mean, the only time I think about HIV is I take one little pill every morning, once a day, So, but I wanted to do it my way, on my terms. And so I still hadn't told them, hadn't figured out a way how I was going to do it. And so I hadn't told them. Then I had a fall just last April and ended up in the hospital. And my son got involved in my medications. And he found this, one of my bottles was this bottle with, how on the medications they have 3 letters. And that identifies, if you look at the letters on the internet, it'll tell you what that medication is. Yeah. And so he looked it up and he saw, and then he told my other 2 kids, and they, but then they didn't say anything. So finally, after I got home from that hospital situation, was recovering, was doing well, my daughter looked at me one day. He had gone back to Utah. He was here, but gone back to Utah. And my daughter looked at me one day and said, is there anything you want to tell me about your life and you're not telling me this? I'm like,
Yeah, you're like,
I don't even think that. Exactly. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like,
Right.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
HIV. And it wasn't, it didn't turn out to be a big deal. And they understood.
Mm-hmm.
They understood. They had enough experiences with my ex-wife that sometimes they had issues with her talking about stuff that they didn't want
Right.
her to be talking.
Right.
So they understood that if I had told you,
Mm-hmm.
you were going to tell your mom
Mm-hmm.
one way or somehow,
Yeah.
and then it would be out.
Yeah.
And she's the last person I wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
So they understood. They were cool.
Nice.
And my daughter-in-law, my oldest son's wife, just finished her master's in public health.
Mm.
And so she was completely knowledgeable
That's
about
awesome.
all of the issues.
Yeah.
And so once they saw the medication was taking complete control, and I explained to them, U equals U,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm undetectable,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore I am not able to transmit the disease, the virus.
Mm-hmm.
And so understanding both of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you said something really important earlier, which is that you don't think about your status besides the pill that you take. But I think probably a lot of people haven't known that, or like wouldn't think of it that way, maybe.
No.
No.
Yeah. Because in some people, as far as we've come,
Mm-hmm.
generally, but in the whole non-gay, and even some gay people can be ignorant of some of this, but in the non-gay world, people are still sort of stuck in that 80s, 90s mindset where you get HIV, that means AIDS. They don't understand the difference
Mm-hmm.
between HIV and AIDS.
Mm.
And so immediately they go to AIDS.
Right. Yeah.
So for my kids to understand that I'm not AIDS positive, I've never had a disease, I've never had an opportunistic disease, I've just got the virus in my body.
Mm-hmm.
But the medication manages it. Mm-hmm. And I can't transmit it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, they were really, and I'm glad it waited this long.
Felt like
for them
right time.
Yeah, for them to be as adult as they are, late 30s, early 40s, that sort of time frame in their lives where they were looking to make drama out of anything.
Yeah.
Because they had their lives to deal with.
Right.
My grandkids and all that. So.
Do you have grandkids here in Portland?
One.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter and her husband have one.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I have 3 in Utah.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that I don't know, like how has being HIV positive affected your life? Like, is there anything that you wish more people understood about it, or?
I wish more people understood the U equals U part.
Yeah.
Because I haven't dated. My long-term relationship ended 12 years ago, and I haven't dated. I've been dealing with the crisis and everything to do with, dealing with the crisis and not having a roof over my head at times and all of this stuff. So I haven't dated. Mm-hmm. But I wish that people understood better
mm-hmm.
that the whole concept that it isn't a death sentence anymore. Mm-hmm. That you can be HIV positive and on medication, assuming that you're taking care of yourself and you're on the medication. That if you're doing, being healthy, having nutrition and all of that stuff, mm-hmm. that it's not a life, it's not a death sentence. Mm-hmm. And I really wish that people understood that better. They may never understand that anymore than already is, but it's sort of like drifted off into a thing that people don't really talk about anymore or don't really think about anymore. Back in the day when I was trying to date, still HIV positive and trying to date, it was a bigger issue then because it was still a little too new. Mm-hmm. And the dread was you had to disclose that to somebody that you were going to start dating.
Right.
So that they understood, especially if it was going to be sexual. And to be able to stress out about that.
Yeah.
They had to
have people that reacted in a
Oh,
negative
absolutely.
way.
Oh, absolutely. As soon as they found that out, they were gone.
Yeah, that's so frustrating.
Even though I was, I was completely healthy. But so I haven't started dating in a serious way after, for 12 years now. So I don't know what the environment is with people being accepting of that or not, if they're negative. So I don't know what I'm faced with if I start dating.
Yeah, I would like to think people are more open and understanding.
Yeah. And again, because I don't think it's up in our faces every day like it was back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Quest has been such a very meaningful time, a meaningful situation for me to be in here in Portland. I'm serious. I mean, the support, and I have to just underline support.
Yeah.
And the services and the people are awesome, amazing. I just have to honestly say that Quest has probably been the thing that's gotten me through my time in Portland. Again, landing here, not knowing anybody, not having, any background here, a daughter that was busy and working, and a mother. And so feeling some isolation, feeling some, loneliness, but having Quest to help get me in big ways, get me through that, from Justine to Jay, to Alex and others, Teresa, Cindy before her. Quest is just an awesome place, really, truly awesome.
It is. Yes, you as well. Yeah. And yeah, it's been so nice hearing your story and getting to know you.
Thank you for asking me.
Of course.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Jake's sensitivity initially about not wanting to, disclose and be careful. And it's like, no, the doors are all blown open now. It's all out there. It's all out of the bag.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really cool to get to share your story especially because you have, gone through feeling like you've lost a community and having some fear around coming out. And that's really important to people to know that you can do that and you can find community beyond that.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Nobody ever tells anybody that it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's tough as hell. It is really tough to get through it, but to have support, this is where the support is, if you have that.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you found your community and that you found Quest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Quest is awesome.
It's so lovely to get to know you.
Thank you. And it's you as well.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, stay tuned for more. Leave us a rating and review, and consider supporting our efforts with a donation to Quest Center's Give Guide campaign at giveguide.org/nonprofits/quest. See you next time.